If you've been referred to me by a friend or a family member, if you've seen me speak at an event, read my book, or found me online, you'll hear me say it frequently. I work really fast. But don't worry, I don't sacrifice quality for speed. What I'm going to do right now is just talk you through what to expect when you have your very first meeting with me. My name is Anthony Lindsay, and I've been in finance for over 30 years. I've done wealth management, debt collection, and lending. I understand that as a mortgage broker, it's a relationship business. So I want to make sure that you understand who I am, what I do, and what to expect in our very first meeting. As I said, most people are pleasantly surprised about how fast and professional I am. That speed comes from having a solid structure and a great support team behind me. We take the time to find out the right products for your circumstances, never compromising service for speed. Before we speak, what will happen is if you've been referred by a friend or family member, you'd have probably received a booking link. When you send me that booking request, you'll receive a confirmation and an email just to talk you through the first meeting. But I'm going to explain what to expect in the first meeting, how to prepare, and what will happen in the first 7 minutes of the meeting, which might excite you and hopefully it will impress you. Remember, it's not rocket science, it's math. Getting a mortgage is just down to math. I'll do all of the heavy lifting for you, but I want to make sure that in our very first conversation, we establish how much you want to borrow and if you can actually get to that number. We'll look at your credit, income, and your deposit. During the first meeting, I'll cover the regulatory items required by the FCA and ask you a few questions that will help me find out what products are best for you. These are the questions so you can prepare for them. The first question I'll ask you is what's the best thing we can get out of this meeting? Because I always want to be on your agenda. The next question will be about your employment. How much do you make per year? So, what is your annual salary? I'll then ask you about your credit. I'll ask a specific question in a specific way. I'll ask you, have you had any missed payments, late payments, CCJs, or defaults? If you have to explain the answer, then the answer is probably yes, and that's fine. We can go through that, but I need to know what your credit report actually says. I'll need to understand if you have a UK passport or if you're on a skilled worker visa, and I'll ask you how many years you've thought about fixing the mortgage for if you want to fix it, or if you even understand how mortgages work. We'll then move into how much does the house that you'd want to live in cost? This is a really important question. And the reason why I ask it that way, 9 times out of 10, if I ask how much are you looking to get, people will say between 450 and 600. That's a huge price range, and houses within that price range are going to be very different. Plus, I need to know how much you'll qualify for. So what I'll do is I'll ask you for a specific number. We'll go for the highest number. I'll then take your income, multiply it by 4, add your deposit, and see if we can get you to the number that you want to get to. There are specialist lenders, and we may be able to do a higher income multiplier, but just to make sure that the conversation is moving in the direction of getting you the home at the price that you want, we'll start with that. In the first 7 minutes or less, as I said, we will establish if you can afford and get to the number that you want to get to. This will determine if what you're looking for is actually within your reach. It's very rare that I can't get somebody a mortgage. What's more likely to happen is maybe we can't get you to that number. We may need to send you to a specialist lender, or we may need to explore other options. But rest assured, 9 out of 10 times, I can get you a mortgage. We'll then look at monthly payments. I'll ask you the question, what is an affordable monthly repayment for you? Only you can answer that question. From there, I'll show you the options available based on a term that suits both your needs and your age. If you're a younger person, you can probably do a longer term. We'll talk about fixed rates versus variable rates, but I'll actually be able to go through some numbers with you on a very high level based on what you've told me. This is why it's so important that you are open and honest with me about what you're looking for, how much you make, and your credit. We'll then go through a mortgage illustration. In my experience, most people, even those who are remortgaging, have never had the structure of a mortgage illustration properly explained to them. This is an important document. While we won't have enough information at this stage to generate one specifically for you, I can walk you through the structure so you understand what it is and what some of the mortgage jargon is. When you're in an industry, you can pick up a lot of jargon. I try my very best to explain everything to you, always explain the next steps that you understand what to expect as we proceed. The most common questions that I get are interest rates. How long does it take? Solicitors and stamp duty. Don't obsess over interest rates. And that's easy for me to say, but here's why I say that. Your monthly payments are as important as your interest rates. Interest rates change. FCA guidelines dictate that as a mortgage broker, I have to get you the very best product that you qualify for over the shortest term within your budget. So if you have a budget and your budget is based on what you are comfortable with, it's low, then we're going to have to look at that. So it may be that you qualify for a higher amount, but if you're not comfortable with higher monthly repayments, then we may need to do a lower amount. So I just wanted to go through this very quickly that you understand what it is that you will be expecting in the very first interview. The documents that you're going to need will be your 3 months pay slips, 3 months bank statements, ID, credit report. You'll need your P60, and you'll also need proof of address. You don't need that for the first appointment, but if you do decide to work with me, you will need that. So it's worth having those things prepared. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to having a conversation with you. I always appreciate referrals, and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the videos. There's lots of videos on this channel. And if there's a topic that you'd like for me to cover, be sure to put that in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to meeting you.